Hey guys, MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another discussion video. And before I begin, I just want to inform you guys that we're still working on some things in the studio. We just bought some new equipment, and we're still waiting for more equipment to come in before we just restructure everything in the studio. So for now, you'll be seeing discussion videos with either some gameplay footage or just me in my office until we get back to the regular scheduled program on how we deliver content. So let us begin. With this discussion video, we're going to be talking about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, is because this has been really the biggest talk for the past couple of weeks, as far as where does Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite stand as far as its lifespan. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite have a lot of controversy built around it, and even though there's a lot of people who pretty much is disgusted with the game and pretty much don't want to support the game and backed away from it, the game still has somewhat of a healthy community revolving around it. Now the thing is, the last video that we discussed concerning Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was the fact is that it didn't appear as the main game for EVO 2018. Now I really have a lot of people really thinking about where this franchise is going to be going from here on out, because it's been reported that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite hasn't really sold too well compared to its past Marvel vs. Capcom entries, and that's really sad, is because this game has garnered a lot of respect, and it garners a lot of expectations. And the main thing about Marvel vs. Capcom and just the Versus series in general is its roster. It's the rosters, the characters. We all love our favorite Marvel characters, and we definitely love our favorite Capcom characters, and everybody had built up expectations for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I know I've built a lot of expectations for it, because I seen this as the game to where Capcom bring out all the stops on bringing back certain characters, or finally converting characters into like the 3D and 3D animated universe for their fighting games from franchises that we haven't seen in a long time. So what is this discussion going to be about? We already know that it hasn't appeared in the game hasn't really appeared, or it won't be appearing as the main event for EVO 2018. Now there was some information that I wanted to discuss concerning the life of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now this has been circling around the YouTube community for some time now, for those who are into fighting games or those who are really into Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now the thing is, I really didn't want to talk about it, is because I wanted to see who else would cover it, if anybody else was going to pass it around. Now this is just rumors, it's just, so just take this for a grain of salt. Well, in my Discord channel, someone had posted pretty much a link to the Steam to the Steam forums concerning Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and somebody had left some disturbing information concerning the life of this game. Now in the article, it stated that, which I will read to you guys, that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, especially on Steam, will pretty much shut down in October of 2018. So let's just go through the article and just break it down and just give our opinions on what we think. Now, like I said before, remember, take this for a grain of salt. So in the article, it states that, "So I just wanted to say I removed the jokes previously because it is time that I get serious. This is the honest and hard truth, which is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will be shut down come October 2018. It will be removed from the Steam Store and PlayStation Network and Xbox Live." Now, at first I wasn't sure if this news was for real, so I decided to make a joke thread because I figured it was likely fake. However, the same source who provided me with the shutdown date of Marvel Heroes Omega has now given me a shutdown date for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. A huge part of why this game is being shut down is because of poor sales, due to how nasty the graphics is in this game and how the game looks. Even workers at Capcom takes jabs at how bad Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks. So as we can see right here, we all been speculating this as far as sales are concerned. Like, sales really determine whether or not if a game is going to continue to push forward as far as DLC and even as far as sequels are concerned. And we talked about this last time when in my last video when I talked about microtransactions, DLC and everything, and how if we don't support the game and its DLC, or no matter how shady it is, if we don't support it, it's more than likely that the game won't continue on as far as updating it with content, or maybe we won't even see sequels, because it let the company know that, hey, like, there's no money here to be made. Instead of them wanting to go with the change their practices, they'd rather just not make it at all. So now looking at this is the same person who had got the information about the Marvel Heroes Omega being shut down. So there could be some validity in this, but like I said, let's take this for a grain of salt. So then he carries on and say that I should have not made rants and trolling and goofing off in my original post because this is indeed serious. But my frustrations with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and how the X-Men has been treated really hurt me. The fact that this game is being shut down is very painful for me to accept. I paid full price for this on the PS4 because I think the gameplay is amazing, and I still do enjoy this game. I actually gave the date when Marvel Heroes Omega would be shut down in 2017, and it happened, as the Marvel Heroes forum, both on Steam and the original forum, was completely shut down by Marvel. However, I was the one who made the thread warning against buying further microtransactions in Marvel Heroes, even as far as back as David Previck left Gazillion. My source told me as far back as then Gaz would be going bankrupt when I made the post. The thread was deleted. So this guy has pretty much warned people about the whole Marvel Heroes incident and about how the company is going to pretty much go sink dive into the abyss of bankruptcy, and he warned everybody about the microtransactions. So I guess this is him trying to warn everybody about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and not to further, I guess, continue to try to, I guess you say, pay into the DLC and the premium costumes and everything. So he states that my same source who works as a contractor in the industry has given me a date for when Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite will be taken down from the Steam store, and it will be October 2018. Now, I know that nobody has any reason to believe me, but I ask that you guys screenshot my post here and just wait for October and you will see for yourself. My source said that work has been done on Season 2 for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. There are DLC characters that were in development. However, work has halted halfway and the Season 2 pass was ordered to be discontinued by Capcom. So it looks like that there was some works because, as we said before, there was rumors before stating that Gil at one point was considered to be a character's DLC. Regina from Dino Crisis at one point was considered to be a character, and that was in the works, and then he pulled the plug on that character. So it looks like they were in the works for doing a Season 2, but after the sales came up and how bad and how poorly it done for a Marvel Versus series, decided to pull the plug. So, to continue, he said, currently Capcom has plans to release only 3 more DLC characters separately. They will be released individually, but is not polished and is not guaranteed to be released either. The decision on this is still pending. Work was ordered to be stopped when they were halfway with the 4th Season 2 character. Please note that Disney has nothing to do with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It is Marvel's decision to shut down Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and pull it from EVO, as it has drawn too much negative publicity and complaints. The reality is Capcom wanted Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite to be at EVO, but Marvel refused, which makes sense. I kind of figured that, like I said, when you have team projects like this and crossovers, it's not just one company making all decisions, it's both companies making decisions. So if both sides doesn't have to come to an agreement, then pretty much nothing was going to happen as far as like the life of the game and everything. Now, to cap things off, he said, and for your information, the realistic art style had nothing to do with Marvel. They never gave any orders on how the art style must look. The art style was done by Capcom because this game was the first fighting game that was built in-house by Capcom in over a decade. The problem was Capcom did not have the talent or the resources in-house to pick whatever art style they wanted. The resources and talent was extremely limited. Also, the reason Captain Marvel looked better than Chun-Li at first is because Captain Marvel was outsourced to a designer from France. The reason it took so long to fix Chun-Li's face was because they had to outsource her to another designer to do the fixes. Those fixes were not done by Capcom, so I am just letting you know, guys, this is why they didn't fix Dante or anyone else. Regardless if you believe me or not, it is what it is. Come October and you will see for yourself. There were actual plans on releasing X-Men characters for this game. It had nothing to do with the licensing issues. They were to be released in the form of DLC. However, Marvel pulled the plug due to poor sales of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and negative publicity. A little too late, I guess. Now, to backtrack and talk about the art style and then talk about the X-Men characters. Now, first discussing the art style. This is some information. Like I said, this may or may not be true, but let's say if it is true. And if you look at it, you notice like in Street Fighter V, there was some information. They were saying that they were different. They had outsourced to different artists to do each and every last different character for Street Fighter V. That's why some of the character models look totally different. Like if you look at Colleen and you look at a couple other characters in Street Fighter V, how some of the characters look much more detailed or much different than the other characters. So sometimes you see some clash as far as the character models are concerned when you sit them side by side one another. Even Yuri, and it was created or was sent out outsourced to a different artist to do the 3D models. So this makes sense. So since they haven't done anything in a while as far as doing anything in-house as far as creating I guess you could say the art style or the character or the animations, I guess this is the reason why Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite looks the way it looks. If you want to take that, you know, for what it is, that's really crazy. Then to move on as far as DLC, and I said this before, and people argue me down from tooth and nail. I kept saying to everybody that Fox has nothing to do with X-Men not being in a Marvel video game. And the reason why I keep saying this, Sony has nothing to do with it, Fox has nothing to do with this. Fox and Sony only has the rights, the movie rights to the Fox only has the movie rights to the Fantastic Four and X-Men and just the Deadpool franchise and everything. And Sony only has the movie rights to Spider-Man. They don't own they don't own comic book rights, or they don't own video game rights to any of these characters. That's why Marvel consistently do Spider-Man comics and do Spider-Man video games by licensing it out to video game publishers and developers. So when people kept telling me and kept saying that the reason why X-Men's not in it is because of Fox, that has nothing to do with it. They're totally different license. And I said to a lot of people that I argue with on Facebook and other places, is because they felt as though they can make more money and drain more money from its fan base by making them DLC. It's much more profitable that way. So they wanted to push the Marvel Cinematic Universe, leave the X-Men out, and sell them as DLC because they know that everybody's going to want it. But guess what? The plan has backfired on them. And they deserve that. It deserved that backfired, and it looks like we won't be getting any X-Men characters or any future DLC if this happens to be real. Now, to continue on, he says, my source managed to give me some insight into the game industry and some info on the development of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite that explains why it turned out that way, the way that it did. He assures me that this game will be pulled as Marvel has already made their decision. His contract has been canceled along with everyone else who were ordered to do the freelance work on Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. For all the bashing I gave Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite from now on, I had nothing further to say about this game. The fact that it's going to be pulled means the end of the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise as we know it. I have great memories of playing this in the arcades back in the 90s when X-Men vs. Street Fighter was released. I apologize for all the negative things I have said about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, as I never imagined that it would go down like this. Now, to just, I guess you could say, to sum everything up, this was bound to happen. This was bound to happen. This is what happened when developers and, you know, get together and these companies try to, I guess you could say, shortchange its fan base and try to treat its fan base like it's stupid. And it deserves all the negative feedback. It deserves all of the negative attention that it deserves, is because Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite shouldn't have been treated like this. This is one of Capcom's biggest blockbuster titles. This is like a AAA title. This is a title that every time they release, it makes money, and fans love and cherish this. And to see that this has to go down this way is just, it's sad, but it has to happen. And will we ever see another Marvel vs. Capcom game? That's a question that I guess we won't be able to have an answer to right away. We just have to wait and see, because like I said, we have to take this as a grain of salt, because anything can just happen. It can be just thrown in the air. But like I said before in the past, Chris G didn't like how they treated the Marvel vs. Capcom, or just the Marvel community, when they did the Battle of the Stones during the whole Capcom Cup Pro Tour, or the league that was going on around in December. So I can kind of understand that, hey, these things was just going downhill for the Marvel community. And to see that the fact is that it's not going to be a main game at EVO is really telling. And then when this information popped up, this could be true, it may not be true, but let's say if it is true, this is just, this has to happen, and maybe Capcom will learn this lesson. And Capcom did mention that they're going to start worrying and more focusing on quality control when it comes to their products. They're going to try to put more more effort in their products, because I guess you could say that Monster Hunter has done pretty well, and it showed that you don't have to have loot boxes, you don't have to have microtransactions or any shady DLC in order for you to make money. If you make a game and you make a good game, people will go out and buy it. So hopefully Monster Hunter World will teach Capcom that, hey, we don't have to go down the DLC route or go down to shady business practices in order to make the money that we want to make. So hopefully that type of attitude and that mentality will transfer over to their future fighting games. But as of right now, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is going to die eventually, and it does have a faithful community. And to be honest, I love its gameplay, but the thing that always turned me off was the visuals, and mainly its roster. The roster was the biggest thing that turned me off from this game. But it's just sad to say, and it's just sad to hear that this is it, and we probably won't see anything from the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise anytime in the near future. And hopefully Capcom will move on to other companies like Japanese developers and do a versus series. I'd love to see a Tatsunoko versus Capcom again, or maybe a Shonen Jump versus Capcom. I think that'd be interesting. But that's pretty much it. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Like I said, these are just rumors, but this person had pretty much made this, had pretty much came forth with past things and was pretty much spot on. So there could be a possibility that he could be right, but it could also be a possibility that he could be all wrong. And he told everybody to screenshot this and just wait until October to see what happens as far as the future is concerned with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So make sure you leave your thoughts in the comment sections below, and don't forget to hit the bell at the bottom of the video to be notified when I upload new videos. So this is MugenLord, and also I want to let you guys know too that there's also going to be a Nintendo Direct at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want a specific, try to find out what time zone or time period that is for you guys. But I'm going to be live streaming my reaction and us watching the Nintendo Direct at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch TV. So don't forget, 5 p.m. on Twitch. Come check me out. Let's go chill. Let's talk about some video games and just have a good time. This is MugenLord, and I'm signing off. See you Game Fiends later. Peace out.